House of Gucci. This movie came out back during Thanksgiving week, so I'm a couple weeks late. I finally caught up with it. I apologize. I did get opening night tickets to Spider Man, so you will be seeing first day me talking about that movie. But what I did want to alert you guys about is that I is that it was the Spider-Man ticket. So I alerted you guys about that. But now let's talk about House of Gucci. I apologize for my late review on this. This is the new Ridley Scott movie, and this is the one that seems to be doing a bit better than the last duel did, and seems to be more popular and more Oscar buzz talk. Which I think that's for a couple reasons, but we'll get into that in a minute. So let's talk about this movie, what works about it. First of all the performances are fantastic. Lady Gaga, it's already been said, she's in Oscars talks for, Best Actress performance, which I wouldn't say is undeserved because she's an actual bitch in this movie, and that there's no other way to describe her in this movie. She's a bitch. She's manipulating these family members, turning father against son in these scenarios to get what she wants. She is an awful person, but you're so delighted in watching it because she takes so much pride in her awfulness and the shitty thing she does in this movie to manipulate people around her. And eventually people get so fed up with her shit that they have to start manipulating back. And it feels very cathartic, and I really like that aspect of her performance. And I really liked everybody's performance in this movie. Everybody was great. Every single cast member in this movie was great. There wasn't a single one that felt off or inappropriate. They were all excellent performances. Another thing that really works about this movie is Ridley Scott's direction. It's not one of his prettiest movies. It doesn't have a lot of the amazing cinematography that normally comes with his films, but it is a pretty good looking movie. The costume design is fantastic. It's all great. Um, but here's my issue with this movie. It is all that stuff is great. And I feel like that's why this film is connecting more with audiences than The Last Duel. Is because it's a very breezy type movie. It's very, you come in, you get all those things I just told you. It's really easy to watch. But The Last Duel was just a better movie. In the simple fact that when I watched The Last Duel the first time, posted my video, I was a little bit not as into it. And then as the weeks went on, and the more it sat with me, the more I became a bigger fan of the movie and really liked it and came to appreciate the movie because it had a lot to say that I didn't fully pick up on the first time, and it needed me to sit with it to realize those things that were in the movie. And I feel like this movie doesn't have anything like that that's going to sit with me or really make me think. It just kind of goes through the motions, does its little thing, and leaves. Granted, it does all that really well, but I just feel like it's not the better film the director made this year. And it's kind of weird because I feel like if I hadn't seen The Last Duel, this wouldn't even be a complaint, right? But I have, and I don't think both of these films were meant to come out the same year, so close to each other. I feel like one would have come out 2020. This one would have come out 2021. I don't feel like it would have come out the way it did because the pandemic happened. I think it did come out like that, unfortunately. So it means this awkward way of comparison. Will say, just go see this movie though. Neither of these Ridley Scott movies are doing very well. This one is doing okay. It's not outright flopping or majorly failing, but it is doing okay. But the issue with a lot of these films right now is that Ridley Scott is now like Steven Spielberg and other great directors, where his films are just going to continue to not do as well as they used to, and it means that they might have to move to streaming. So if you want that to not happen and their films continue to be in theaters, we need to see them and support them. And this is a good movie. I hope Lady Gaga definitely gets nominated. I'm not necessarily sure if I want her to win. Kristen Stewart, it seems to be a lot more talked about in Spencer. I haven't seen Spencer, that's why I don't have a read for that one. I actually missed that one in theaters, unfortunately, but I'm curious to see who's going to win the Best Actress spot, because I feel like this year there's been a lot more competition than usual, even though that um, there usually is a pretty decent amount of competition. Just the Oscars doesn't want to nominate those people, so I don't know. But I'm excited to see what happens with that. She was really good, so we will see. It is pretty amazing. We had two Ridley Scott movies in one year. Just bad timing for releases for his types of movies.